Hi there. So I work for a custodian bank. So custodian bank is something that's not typically like, well, at least ours isn't anyway, isn't like a typical retail bank. We don't have shop fronts, so you won't see us on your high street. We don't do mortgages, we don't do insurance. What we do is we look after people's assets.
Right. Okay.
Um, and when I say assets, I mean things like stocks, shares, bonds. And so we look after these when people bought them into for companies, and we then look after them for them. So my specific department, we do what's called corporate actions. And corporate actions are events that are related to these stocks and shares. So it may be that you have a dividend getting paid out by some shares that you own. And so we will make sure that you get paid on that dividend, the money gets received to us, and it gets to our clients. If you want to go a bit deeper, I also look after, so I'm like the oversight for this department. I make sure that what they're doing is correct, that they are following procedures. If there's errors, if we have things put in place to make sure that they don't happen again. Sorry.
Yeah.
If we have like data management, we have to look after that. So I look after that. I make sure there's projects that are going on to have improvements. There's things like account maintenance, data privacy, which is a big one at the moment. So there's a lot going on, really.
That sounds very stressful.
It can be at times, don't get me wrong, but no, it's enjoyable as well.
So obviously from that, what do you like about your job?
So I think the big thing is with any job, not just mine, is you've got to enjoy the people that you work with. And I enjoy the people that I work with. Any job you could have, it could be the job that's like your dream job, but if you don't enjoy the people you work with, then you're not going to like it. Another thing that I like is that I'm always learning. Like self-improvement is always like something that is a big motivator for me. So no one in this role knows everything, and the fact that you get to learn something new every day is like something that I really like. And also, you can probably tell from what I described that I do there. There's like a big variety of things that I do. I do something different like most days, and something always sneaks up on you. So yeah,
Keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, exactly.
And how did you get started?
So it's a bit unusual for me, really. What I'd say is that most people get started in my bank, at least. They come from the roots up, so they come in at entry level and they work their way up. But I actually had a change of career. So I, up until until my mid 30s, I was in hospitality.
Okay.
I'd fallen into hospitality as a lot of people do after university, and I'd got to the role where I was a unit managers for like bars, restaurants, pubs, and I decided that actually the kind of social aspect of it, the lifestyle of it wasn't something that I wanted to kind of carry on going forward. So I looked for a change of career and looked for something that I would particularly be interested in. And what I'd say is that I was people managing people. I was managing people, and I looked for roles, and I saw the bank and applied for it, and I had a lot of transferable skills there. I had people management, whether that be chefs or whether it be people processing work, and so it was good. They saw something in me. They saw that I had those transferable skills, and that's how I got into it.
No, that's excellent. So what would you say to anybody else starting out today? Because obviously you've done a different role, but then other people maybe like you too.
Yeah, so what I'd probably say, first of all, in the first 6 months, like use them wisely. With most roles that you take on, I'd say people are happy for you to ask questions and learn things. But if you start asking the same questions over and over again after those 6 months, people start losing a little bit of faith in you. So make sure that you are paying attention, you're asking questions. Those first 6 months, if you're asking questions, make sure you keep asking those questions that if you're not sure. Because if you ask them again in 6 months' time, then it's people start losing a bit of faith in you.
Absolutely.
I'd also say that if you come into a role and it's not quite right, that's not an issue. Things aren't always right from you from the off. And sometimes a horizontal move to something that's at the same level you are now is just as good as a promotion.
Yeah.
So be prepared to maybe just take that horizontal move if you need to. And then probably third and finally, I'd say that if you want to get into kind of like the financial sector, be prepared to use spreadsheets and use acronyms because we love them.
That's very fair. Look, the other two answers, I suppose, actually really apply for any job as well, don't they? One other thing I just want to add as a question, obviously, is obviously you said about hospitality, and something that I've spoke to quite a few people about is almost that feeling that I feel like everybody should have some sort of experience in hospitality when working with people, because it does make them transferable skills, doesn't it? Yeah. I think it is quite a important thing to maybe experience.
Yeah. I think there's a few aspects to that. I think you kind of get the graciousness that you do because you understand that people have tough jobs sometimes, and you kind of respect that. But also, you get a lot of people skills involved with working in hospitality, and it's definitely got some great transferable skills there. So,
absolutely.
People see it sometimes as like a role that people fall into, but I think it's something that everyone should do. It should almost be like conscription almost.
I believe so. So I've worked a lot in hospitality, and I do think, and speaking to people who've done it also, they've found even 10 years down the line, and they've got big CEO jobs or something like that. Yeah. By working in a bar, they've built the confidence up, and they've built how to build people skills, and it actually seems to be quite a good thing to have experienced. So it's quite good to show people, even if you've been working in a bar for 5 years, actually it's not something to look down upon at all. Like hospitality can serve you so well.